If you're still trying to hit the 5 million coins per expedition and you're starting to feel the clock, this video is for you. If you want something repeatable, something you can run while a podcast is on, and just fill your pockets, this is it. I kept seeing money guides that relied on one insane run or required risking way more than needed to. One lucky raid doesn't mean a method works. So when I found a video by Broog that focused on speed, repetition, and low risk, instead of gambling on big event payouts, I decided to test it properly. Not once, I tracked it. I ran the same route over and over, logged the results, and even mixed in duo runs to see how the numbers changed under more pressure. Before we go any further, here's exactly what this is based on. I tracked 43 total runs, most were solo, and I intentionally included 7 duo runs. That's a small duo sample, and I'm not hiding that. I added duos not to pad numbers, but to see how the same route behaves when risk increases. Most people don't play solo forever, they play with friends, and I wanted the data to reflect that. Across those 43 runs, my total raid time was just over 6 hours. That's an average raid time about 8.5 minutes. In that time, I made about 1.5 million coins net. That averages out to roughly 240,000 coins per hour. That's not cherry-picked. That's the average across the entire data set. That average raid time matters because it tells you whether a method is sustainable. 8 to 9 minute raids means bad spawns don't waste your time. Death don't erase progress, and profit comes from repetition, not luck. That's why this method works. Now let's talk about risk, because that is the backbone of everything here. When I say my average solo risk was about 3,500 coins, my standard solo kit was a looting augment Mark II and 5 adrenaline shots. That's it. No weapons, no armor, no extra consumables. That entire loadout comes out to roughly 3,500 coins per run, and that choice is intentional. The looting augment Mark II is the key piece here. It gives 22 backpack slots, 2 safe pocket slots, 4 quick use slots, 3 trinket slots, has a 60 weight limit, and it only weighs 2 pounds. Those 2 safe pockets matter most than people realize. They let you lock in value every single run. Put your 2 most valuable things in there, and even if things go wrong, that's why failed runs don't destroy your progress. You're still extracting with something. The backpack space is enough to profit without encouraging greed, and the weight stays low so you're not slowing yourself down. The adrenaline shots are there for one reason: time. They let you move faster, reset faster, escape bad situations, and keep raid times short. Short raid times are directly tied to the hourly rate, and the data reflects that. I didn't run Looting Mark III for a reason. The Mark III costs more, weighs more, and while it gives slightly more space, the gains are marginal. You're risking more coins and more weight for very little improvement in average returns. The data doesn't support that trade-off. Looting Mark I was my second choice. It's cheap and light, but it only has 1 safe pocket, which limits how much value you can lock in when things go sideways. The Looting Mark II hits that sweet spot. It gives you enough capacity to profit, enough safety to protect value, and low enough risk that deaths don't matter. That's why the hourly rate stays stable. And this leads to an important reality check. If you bring in a full kit into money runs and die early, that's not 1 bad raid, that's 2 or 3 successful runs erased instantly. That's not opinion, that's just math. This method works best because the risk stays flat. Now let's talk about solo versus duo, because this is where things change. I added 7 duo runs intentionally. I didn't change the route or the strategy. The only variable was another player in the lobby, which changes how people gear up, how aggressive they are, and how often PvP happens. In solo runs, players are generally less aggressive, cheaper kits, fewer fights, and most of the loot comes from containers and whatever you find. That's why solo runs are so consistent. In duos, the vibe is completely different. Players are less friendly, more geared, and actively looking to fight. Because of that, I couldn't run the same low-risk kit. Not to make more money, but to stay alive. My estimated duo kit risk jumped to around 12,000 to 18,000 per run, roughly 3 to 5 times my solo risk. That increase wasn't optional, it was survival. In those 7 duo runs, the average return was about 61,000 coins per run. That's higher than solo, but the variance is higher too. The wins are bigger, the losses hurt more. Higher highs, harder losses. Duos don't pay more because the route changes. They pay more because players bring more value into the raid. Player kits become loot containers. But here's what the data actually says. If you want consistency, solo runs win. If you want a higher ceiling, duos offer it with more risk. Neither is wrong, they're different tools. At roughly 240,000 per hour, reaching 5 million coins takes about 20 to 21 hours of raid time. No gimmicks, No event luck, just reps. If you want something flashy, this isn't it. But if you want something repeatable, this is your method. Alright, the strategy is super simple. I want you to go to the dam with a looting, 2 augment, and 5 adrenaline shots. Go to research and administration building, take the zip line or the stairs up to the top floor. There is lockers everywhere. Go loot every locker. It's going to spawn a bunch of trinkets. You grab everything you can on that floor and you run to the extract that is 200 meters away. You do that over and over again. If you spawn late, you just leave because people have already picked this place over. You want a fresh server, adrenaline shot, and run there as fast as you can. Rinse, repeat, and get that 5 million for the expedition. I'll see you guys topside. Peace.